Let's Talk with author Dre Lett is a show that informs, inspires, and motivates. All shows are taped in front of a live virtual audience. Make sure to follow us so you can be notified when a new show is available on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also follow us if you want to be a part of our live tapings. Grab your beverage and snacks, get comfortable so we can let's talk. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk. I am your host, author Dre Lett. This is the show where we inform, inspire, and motivate. We get you going during these tough times and beyond. So come on in the room and have a seat so we can let's talk. You guys make sure to follow me, follow the show, hit like, and share with family and friends and colleagues and everyone. All right. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in with me. Today is Friday, August 16th, and we have got a great show in store for you. If you're watching this in the pre-recorded phase, please make sure you comment and tell me your thoughts, because what you're going to see tonight may be a little bit of controversy, but it's good. It's all good. All right, so tonight, you guys, let's talk about criminology with my special guest, Dr. Robert Boyd Cannon Jr. He's an author, an educator, and a criminologist, and he's here to talk about his life's work and his new book. He'll be on the virtual stage shortly. So while we hear a brief message from our sponsor, you guys make sure you put in the comment section where you're watching the show from, so I can give you a shout out when we come back from break, from hearing a brief message from our sponsors. And get ready, because like I said, you guys are going to be wanting to comment up a storm on tonight's show. We got some hot topics in store for you. Okay, so I see all of you guys are coming in the room with your beverage and your snacks. Yes, indeed. So after this brief message, we'll be right back. Okay, guys? All right. Nights exclusive. Introducing City Nights, one of a kind, flavored, hemp-based vodka made from only the highest all-natural ingredients without any preservatives. You can order our flavored hemp-based vodka on our website at citynights.com. Overwhelmed with work? Need a virtual assistant? Well, DTL Productions can help. We offer a vast variety of services, such as creating Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, Tableau dashboards, pivot tables, content writing and editing, various marketing services, and so much more. Contact us so we can help make your life easier.
Rock and Richard Houston out of Detroit, Michigan, as we call Motown. We would love for you to come down to our city to enjoy our roller skating. And while you're here, pick up my book, The Motown Sound on Wheels by Rock and Richard Houston. You'll enjoy the roller skating that we're doing here in Detroit. And while you're here also, come down to the Rollercade roller skating rink, where we are doing 69 years of continuous roller skating. And if you have any problems with transportation, come on and call us and we'll pick you up at Delta Limousine Service and we'll roll you right onto the rink and right back to the airport. Thank you very much.
I'm
All right, you guys, that was a message from our sponsors. Make sure you go out and support them. You guys know I'm big on entrepreneurship. So let's get into who's checking in. I see several of you are watching. Thank you for your love and support. We got my girl from high school, Tanya. Hey, girl, how are you? Good to see you. She's watching from Illinois. Hey, sis, love you. Hubby is watching from the man cave. He's one of the producers. Mwah, love you. Thank you for your love and support. And we got Carla. Yes, I love my Let's Talk fam. Hey, sis. Carla's always faithful watching. I appreciate you so, so very, very much. Indeed. And let's see who we got. Oh, we got somebody named Janine Haynes from Houston, Texas. Hello. Welcome. And thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk. Let's see who else. Oh, goodness. More and more comments are coming in here. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Ann. How are you? Hope all is well with you. And Wanda, that's one of my close girlfriends. How are you, girl? Hope all is well with you. Well, I know all is well with you. I talked to you earlier today, child. Anyways, thank you for your love and support. We got somebody by the name of John. John, please forgive me. I cannot pronounce your last name, but thank you so much for joining and tuning in. All right, y'all. So as I said earlier, get your fingers getting ready to type, because instead of doing our typical what's hot, this is something different. So after seeing all the negative, nasty posts, circulating throughout social media, you know me, y'all. I just had to go live. I know. I went live and it's going viral. Ooh. And I had to go live and express my thoughts about this election and how people are treating one another. And so I want you guys to take a look at this video and feel free to chime in. The producers are going to put your comments on the screen as the video plays. It's about 9 minutes, but I want you guys to take a look. And when we come back, I want you to truly tell me what your thoughts are, because this stuff is just getting out of hand. So I feel it is. And I'm sure some of you guys feel the same way. But anywho, I won't say a whole lot. Just take a look at this video. And like I said, feel free to chime in by putting your comments on the screen. And the producers will put it up and we'll discuss when we come back. Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Dre. I wanted to come live. We are going somewhere and we're stuck in traffic, and I'm just kind of scrolling through social media, and I was seeing a lot of stuff and things being said. And this is my personal opinion. This has nothing to do with any groups or affiliations that I belong to. As far as this political race is concerned, I've been looking at all kind of posts and things that this person say, that person say. And for me, again, I'm not mentioning any names, but for me, what does it for me personally, for me, not my daughter, not my grown kids, or me, Drina, what is the alternative? And what I would urge all of you out there to do is to pull up the policies for both of them. Find out what they are for, what they intend to push, and find out, does that apply to you and your family? And I guarantee you, because I've read policies, I've read both sides. I've also read Project 2025. Read that, okay? And what I will tell you is that unless you make $400,000 a year, which I do not, I wish I did, but unless you make $400,000 a year, those policies don't help you at all. And if your skin is color, brown, tan, black, whatever, those policies don't apply to you either. So as you stand here and you want to bash one other candidate, look at the policies. I also want to say that this particular candidate, I'm not going to say any names, when you are biracial, it was said by a very well-known man in this country that 33 million Americans are biracial. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how it is. When you are biracial, you have every right to claim both sides of your heritage. If your father was this and your mother was that, you can claim both because you're biracial, right? Look at the things that those individuals have done in the past for you and your family. If both of those candidates in their previous roles did things that wasn't applicable to you, then you don't need to be supporting them. Okay? And when COVID first came on the scene, 1 million people died. 1 million. 1 million. Because certain people said it's fake news and masks and all. Come on now. I lost so many family members. And had that individual told us to do the right things from the jump, maybe my family members and friends would still be here. So again, I'm sorry if I'm passionate because I'm sick of seeing all this mess. So I would challenge you. I'm not telling you who to support, but I would challenge you, whether you white, black, red, green, yellow, whatever. Look at the policies. Google them. Pull them up. Don't go based on this one I like their hair, this one I like their shirt. No. Look at what they are for. They're out there for public knowledge. All you got to do is read. Just read. And when you see those policies and you see what they're pushing, if it doesn't help you and your family, you know what to do. And I will say this, and again, I'm not endorsing either one of them, but my close family and friends know who I am endorsing, okay? Yeah. What you have to do is look at the policies. Look at what they're saying. Look at what they plan to do. For example, like getting rid of the Board of Education. If you are a retired teacher or a teacher, read how that would affect you. So it's not about, again, the color, the creed, the shirt, what plane, what crowd, what music. It's not about none of that. Use your mind. I know y'all intelligent out there. Use your mind and read the policies. Find out. And I know that most of my family and friends that I know of, them policies that don't help you at all. None of y'all. I don't have family members and friends that are millionaires. Okay? I don't. I wish I did. But anyways, look at the policies. And stop with all this negative, nasty stuff out there. I had to delete some people from my friend list because I refuse to see some of these people painted as a monkey. And some of the stuff I've seen has been disgusting. And we got to stop it. That's another thing I want to say too. Look at the individual. Is it going to bring us together or is it going to divide us? Are we going to be fighting again? I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired. I went in Home Depot just to get some batteries for my garage opener. And the cashier was helping me. And there was nobody behind me in line. And he said, ma'am, I'll help you because I don't know how to put no batteries in the garage opener. I mean, it was very complex. Maybe y'all know I didn't. So he said, I got you, ma'am. I'll do it. The young man was very kind. And I'm standing there. Now, I've got on a baseball cap and some sweats because I had just come from working out. I had no makeup on. I just looked whatever. This was recently. And he was helping me. And I turned around and the line started forming behind me. And I said, oh, boy. And just as I was about to tell the young man, just give me the garage opener batteries. I'll take it home. My husband will do it. This guy, two people back, gonna yell out and say, don't you have a husband that can help you? And, you know, my alter ego, Detroit Drina, wanted to snap. But I said, no, I'm in Home Depot. I'm alone. My husband's not with me. And this can go south or go left very quickly. So I didn't say anything. Instead, I motioned for the young man. I put my hand out like, you know, give it here. I'll take it. You know, I'm going to go home and get it done. So the guy he just kept on heckling me. And he said, this is what's wrong with America right here. He was yelling. And I'm looking around thinking a store manager was going to come to my aid and say, sir, what's going on? Nobody came to my aid. Nobody. Home Depot. Okay. So I was like, let me get up out of here. So before the guy could give me the stuff back, the guy behind me turns around and says to him, no, you're what's wrong with America. And so it was a very tense moment. And so the guy behind me said, ma'am, I got you. I'm going to put him in for you. And I said, okay. So I went to give the guy $6, right? Just give him $6 to pay for it. And the guy behind me said, no. Let me pay for it. I'll pay for it. And I said, no, I got it. He said, no, I'm going to pay for it. And not only am I going to pay for it, but I'm going to pay for it with change. I'm going to give him quarters, nickels, dimes, and pennies to really take forever. Because this guy is out of pocket. And the guy just kept going. So the two guys are getting into it. And he's like, no, aren't you tired of fighting? So anyways, the garage opener. I got the batteries, and I went home and I called my husband. He was doing some other stuff. Anyways, and I told him about it. And I'll share that story with you guys to say this. I am tired of us fighting each other. We are Americans. We should be able to get along. We can disagree on the policy, and that's it. It shouldn't go any further. No insults, no causing deadly harm. The January 6th and officers, being killed and all of this craziness. Stop it. It is not godly. It is not godly. Just keep it cute and simple. If you want to vote for whoever, fine. But what I would urge you to do before you vote, because people died, if you're African American, people died for our right to vote. Martin Luther King, all these people died so we could vote. So before you go and vote, know what you're voting for. Read Project 2025 and read the policies on both candidates. Point blank, period. It don't got nothing to do with their color of the skin, their hair, what they drop. None of that stupid stuff. Just read it. Read it. I know y'all know how to read. Read it. All right, you guys. Y'all can tell I was heated. What do you guys think about that? Yes, I was heated. I had as I said in the video, we were traveling and got stuck in traffic. So I was just scrolling through social media, and I saw some people go live. I saw some posts, and I was burning hot. So I saw some of you guys comment, but those of you watching this in pre-recorded phase, I would love to know your thoughts as well. Make sure, I can't stress enough, read the policies and vote. Read the policies and vote. Okay, Carla, she says that true adults should be able to talk out issues and come up with a good solution without fighting. Be American about it. That's right. That's true, Carla. I totally agree. It's ridiculous. And also, I'm just going to say, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but the other candidate is encouraging hate. Come on now, really? Is that what God would want? No, not at all. Not at all. So you guys make sure you read the policies and go out there and vote. And hey, like I said in the video, well, you didn't see that part, but if y'all don't want to read all that stuff, Project 2025 and all that, just inbox me and I'll help you. Trust. I'll give you the skinny on everything if you want to know. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for listening to that. Feel free to share. It is going viral. If I come up missing, y'all know what happened. I'm just teasing. God's got me, right? God has got me. All right, you guys. So shifting gears, I'm so excited to have this gentleman on. He has been after me for a while, wanting to come on the show. And I looked up his information. I was like, oh, definitely. I'm super excited to have him on. So let me give you a formal introduction of this gentleman. Yes, indeed, you guys. This is a Dr. Robert Boyd Cannon Jr. Dr. Cannon's career path and professional interests detail a small portion of his passion for criminal justice and education. He recently completed his doctoral studies in criminology to further his master's in criminal justice. Although criminology is his first passion, Dr. Cannon dedicated a portion of his life to education through a bachelor's in secondary education with an emphasis on social studies. Dr. Cannon devoted nearly 7 years as an educator and 10 years in the correctional justice system. After achieving his educational goals, he envisioned continuing to contribute a portion of his time and knowledge to the population of children and adults experiencing sudden changes in the criminal justice and education systems. Dr. Cannon enjoys improving the quality of life for others and hopes to leave behind his contributions as an educator and a criminologist. You guys help me welcome to the virtual stage Dr. Robert Boyd Cannon Jr. Hello, sir. How are you? Oh, no, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Miss Ness?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you, Dr.
I'm
Cannon?
doing fine, Miss Ness. It's so good to be introduced from someone that sets the stage for most.
Oh,
And as we attack this issue of domestic violence and it's a supplanted existential threat that it puts on society and the people impacted by it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm so glad you're here because this is such a serious topic, especially with the videos that went viral a couple months ago with Sean Puffy Combs beating his girlfriend, which was horrific, and all the things that are going on right now. So my question to you, I know it may seem silly, but define domestic violence. Is it just between a husband, a wife, boyfriend, and girlfriend, or is there so much more to that?
Well, it can range from different factors as it relates to the person's nature or gender. It can be man on man, woman on woman, man on woman. But anytime someone imposes their will on you to control you and control what you're doing, that's a form of domestic violence. And they also, it's not about sex. People think that it's about sex. It has very little to do with that situation. It relates to someone imposing their power and will on you to do things that they want you to do for them.
Oh, wow.
It,
Wow. That's deep.
it can be ranged also as it relates to abuse as physical. It can be ranged such as punching, kicking, stalking. It can be ranged through texting. It can be done as it relates to on a job. Any place where a person is imposing their will financially, also control mechanisms set in place that can hurt a person and control them. That's basically domestic violence.
Mm. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So how do we recognize it? Like, for example, if it's somebody you work with or somebody in your family that's going through that, how do you recognize it? How do you know to help them?
Well, a lot of times people going through domestic violence, they it's hard to help them because they create a distortion, a reality distortion field. In other words, they're dealing with the actual act of domestic violence happening to them and the stigma that causes it to happen. So a lot of times, victims, people that have been impacted by it, they hide the hurt, they hide the wounds, they hide the pain that they've been experiencing. So a lot of times it comes out through as it relates to wounds, bruises, scratches, and also them hollering at a person, trying to demean them in front of people to make them feel as though they're superior. And it also falls along the lines of narcissistic behavior.
Mm. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. So you talk about narcissistic behavior, and we had a guest on a couple weeks ago that talked about that as well. So what are the different forms of domestic violence? Is narcissism one of the forms, or are there other forms of it?
Narcissistic narcissism is a form that impacts the person as it relates to domestic violence. So the abuser narcissistic tendencies, they impose that on a victim, and it can cause them to experience different things. They can feel slighted, they can feel as though they're not worth anything.
Mm.
Imposter syndrome sets in where they feel like no matter what they do is never enough, or they don't belong there, or they don't belong at work. It can also be a impacted through the children, using the children and weaponizing them, or making them feel as though that don't do this, or the children are they're gonna suffer. It's your fault. It's your fault. It becomes a blame situation, and the narcissistic person can also come and look like they're the victim. And
Mm.
when they're talking to your family members, make you feel as though that you're doing it, you're making them doing it, and you're causing them to feel this way. Sometimes they even put on a crying show as though that they're really in pain. But in the reality of it, the tendencies come out, and they are impactful on people's lives, as far as victims as well as children and family members.
Mm. Now, I was reading something offline, based on information you had given me, and it talked about the Cinderella phase. What is that phase about?
The Cinderella phase is when they make you believe that everything is okay. They come home, they're nice and kind. They don't want to hit you anymore. They're trying to be nice. They really are really trying because it's not in their nature to be that way. But that little things start slipping out, like
Mm.
what time you got off work, why you have eyeliner on, why you have makeup. Can you FaceTime me so I can see who's in the room? Why are you wearing that outfit? That doesn't look right. So the control mechanisms are still there. But the reality distortion falls into, well, he's not hitting me. He's not putting his hands on me. No, but he's imposing his will on the way you're dressing. He takes the credit card, the bank card, and make you feel as though you don't have any money. And a lot of times the stigma sets in. People don't want their family members to know how they are looking when they're being abused. So a lot of metrics are set in place as it relates to that type of situation.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. And you talked about workplace domestic violence, right? So when we watched the Sean Puffy Combs video of he and his girlfriend, was that workplace because he was a producer of her, she was a singer?
It's great that you mentioned that aspect of domestic violence. Yes, that was a form of domestic violence at the workplace. Also, quiet as it isn't mentioned anymore, Ike and Tina Turner was a form of domestic violence in the workplace because that was a producer and husband, and he was literally abused it toward. He was abusing
Oh,
money as well as physical situations as related to Tina. So, but a lot of people don't mention what happened with Puffy and the woman that he abused, Cassie. He kicked her. What now? A lot of times, just people just saw the video, but he did something that was very, very targeting. He kicked her in the butt, he kicked her in the vaginal area, and he also hit her and dragged her by the head. All these things were not just to prove that he was trying to hurt her, but he was totally trying to demean her as a woman. And
oh,
so he was a lot of people didn't realize exactly where he was actually hitting her. He didn't just punch her shoulder or kick her feet. He particularly aimed and took his time and targeted certain areas. So domestic violence can happen at the workplace. And the Cinderella phase that goes in effect that when a person's at work, they're a good boss and everything's fine until things get angry. Then they attack you at work, attack you at home. Then a lot of times when you're trying to get yourself some help, there are no policies set in place at the workplace in the public sector to help you get any help from a law enforcement institution. So it puts people in a difficult spiral. And like I said, yes, Puffy, Cassie, Ike, and Tina, these were definite situations as it relates to domestic violence in the workplace. And one more
mhm.
other point, a lot of people get fired for that in the regular jobs because usually a lot of people don't become permanent employees until 6 months to a year. So if something happens at the workplace, you come with some scratches or bruises. They don't have to ask any question. It's at will. You can be fired and terminated immediately.
Mm, that is so deep. That is so deep. Now, wow, I'm just speechless just listening to this. Now you talk about getting help. Now, this is your book called I Own You, right? Help us understand what this book is all about. What does it cover? Does it give victims or people that aren't aware of it signs to look for if your loved one, your sister, your friend is going through it?
This book, I Own You, is about the voices of victims. A lot of books, as relates to domestic violence, they talk about what they're going through, but the rare perspective of them talking about the voices of the victims and their experiences, that book, that book highlights that and sheds light to that. Also, it goes into different situations as it relates to getting help, as it relates to talking to EO, human resource officer. It shed lights about the policy situations that are non-existent. It also brings about the fact that, that there needs to be help through legal aid and as well as people who are experiencing domestic violence in the navigation of getting help. So as it relates to people calling the police, letting them know they're having a problem, the police might not be helping, calling a supervisor. It also talks about going to actually file for a restraining order, how it can become a problem. One other point about a restraining order. If you file a restraining order while you're married, when you become divorced, that restraining order is null and void. You have to refile it again. It has no power.
Really? Oh my God.
And another case in point, when a person's convicted of domestic violence, it can be a felony or misdemeanor. When they're convicted, they can be left free on parole with an ankle monitor. A lot of times, the ankle monitor can be distorted. The signal can be distorted through the person covering the ankle monitor with aluminum foil. So, the monitoring system is only responsible legally for 6 months. I believe that Louisiana is the only entity that you can sue that public sector operation over a period of time. But in most states, after 6 months, you're on your own.
Oh my God, that is so scary. So going back to if you're married and then you get divorced, right? So let's say that woman, she divorces him, and that day that the judge signs the divorce decree, can she stand there and say, "Okay, Your Honor, wait, wait, wait. Can you put a restraining order?" Or does she got to go back and wait another month, 2 months to get the restraining order?
You you can, once you put a decree in. I'm not that uh, I'm not that sound on law, but you can always bring a person to court. When a
Okay.
divorce, from situations I dealt with, going to people see divorces, once the divorce is decreed, it's just basically letting you what you have and what you don't have in your rights. But when it comes down to that type of order or stay away order, you have to go back and file it on your own. And you can do that through the district attorney office. And you can also ask them for a referral to get you an advocate. Because a lot
Okay.
of times people don't believe it's happening to you because the person's prestigious, pristine, they have money,
Mm.
they have a lot of things going for them, and just no one can believe you just being totally abused and assaulted. So there are avenues that are set in place for that. You have to, and if the person is not, everybody's at the office is not helpful.
Mm.
So you have to be very adamant about getting help. Sometimes you have to email them, let them know that I had a conversation with you. You told me that there was no advocate, but someone else in the office did. So it operates off a referral system. But in the interim, that advocate can come to the court and let them know that you're having problems and be perhaps a help when it's time to get that stay away order in effect.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome that resource is there. In your bio, and you and I talked offline, you work in the detention center. I know of a particular individual, her and her significant other got into it, and the police came and arrested him and put him in jail, right? That night, she was able to go up there, bail him out, and he went home that night. So, are you seeing something like that down there? You're in Louisiana. Are you seeing things where the woman can just change her mind? Like, shouldn't it be some accountability for that man?
Okay, in certain instances, the state does take over, or the city takes over when it becomes a situation that it feels though a person is being manipulated and not able to show up for court on their own. They can pick the charge up. Also, when women are at that point, until they realize that they're a victim, they can't really understand how it is to be a survivor. So the manipulation is constantly being real. And like I said, symptoms of as it relates to imposter syndrome, stigmas that are involved. A lot of these things take place. And also, some people experiencing domestic violence due to the graphic nature of the assault can experience a form of PTSD. So
Mm,
it's a lot of things that are set in, that in metrics that happen, that take place, that are not addressed, that need to be addressed through consultation. But yes, they do that a lot, and a lot of times that's why a lot of people don't, they feel kind of burnt out. I just helped someone, they went back to this person. You have to really be sincere about your actions. If you feel like crying, cry. If you're hurt, hurt. Because when that person lets that individual back out, he's gonna come home and hurt that person even more so because he's
oh,
got more of a point to prove and he's trying to impose his will on them even stronger. So that's a very, very dangerous time. Also, another dangerous time is when the victim is leaving the abuser. They have certain lines they need to make sure that are followed through. Certain sentences need to be dotted, such as they don't need to use the cars that they've been using as they're married. Leave your phone at the house. You can go to the
mm,
advocacy and get another phone. go to the Salvation Army, get some help through those consultations. But you have to go to an agency like the Salvation Army or the Salvation Army or United Way, because they're umbrella agencies and they can get you help, housing, and food and shelter for your children that are impacted by it also.
Yes, yes. What we did was in our neighborhood, they hung these big pink bags on everybody's garage, and it was a note. And so it basically said, if you have anything you're throwing out or giving away, and my husband and I, we were moving, and in fact, we had a washer and dryer we gave away to, a shelter for battered women and clothes, and so yes, that is definitely out there. Oh my goodness. So now that you got your doctoral degree, congratulations,
Thank
Dr.
you, thank you,
Cannon.
thank you.
What do you see yourself doing with this additional advanced degree? How do you want to apply it?
Well, I work with agencies. I do a lot of public speaking. I'm constantly working on material to become more of a help to people. Because sometimes when you're not learning, you can be a hindrance because things are moving forward, such as terminology. People feel as though that, hey, this person is he's talking you up and making you feel good, but that terminology is called glazing. It's
Mm,
all kind of things that you can find out to help people and communicate on different social media outlets to get the point across that right now a lot of people are seriously being impacted by domestic violence. They need all the help they can get. You need counseling. Stop going to Momo, the cousin, because they can be toxic. They already was toxic before you went over there.
right.
It's like, you should have went back there. He provided a house for you. You should have went back to that person because
Mhm,
you need him and you can't stay here with your children. And a lot of times people can get hurt helping
mhm,
people victim as it relates to domestic violence because the abuser has come waving a gun, shoots other
mhm,
members, shoots the kids, shoots the person,
mhm.
and for some reason or other, it they feel as though in a cowardly act they turn a gun on themselves.
Oh, so sad. So sad. Oh my goodness. And the comments are just lighting up about everything you're saying. You got to go back and make sure you read the comments. People are really truly chiming in. Tell everybody, I'm going to put this up again. Tell everybody how they can purchase your book. If they want to purchase it for someone they think or know, a family member, they may be going through some things. How can they purchase this book, Dr. Cannon?
You can purchase this book on Amazon. It's called I Own You. It's a great piece because it adds to the workplace and it gives light to the fact that there needs to be a policy set in place on the public sector as well as governmental sector. Right now, if a person takes off from work, they can get fired to get them help, such as a stay away order. There's nothing on the, you can get FMLA to get help, but you can't get help to get help as it relates to domestic violence. So that book voices the victims. If you want to give somebody a way to talk to them, or avenue to talk, or expound on any type of information to talk to them about it, it's a great book to read and give someone.
Awesome. Yes, you guys make sure you support him because he is truly helping our communities and helping. And, it's something you can purchase for someone you think's going through it. Yeah, I saw that, the book was $15, so that's pretty feasible. That's pretty reasonable. So, yes, definitely, definitely. I'm gonna look here and see, do you guys have any questions for Dr. Cannon? Let's see if there's any questions coming in or statements. Yes, Clara, she was one of the guests on the show who, she's currently studying and getting her certifications, about domestic violence as well, and she said, "Thank you, Dr. Cannon." Yes, yes, indeed. Um, you probably can't see that. Okay, that's my husband. He's one of the producers. He's giving you one of those fist pounds. Yes, indeed. So we got to definitely support our own and help those. And sometimes, the individual that I knew, they kind of were in denial, because they love that person, and it took a lot for them to just kind of shut it down and say, okay, that's it. So, we got to help. Janine says, thank you for this information. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Dr. Cannon, before we go, I just want you to share with everybody how they can follow you, if they want to reach out to you, to talk with you, to buy your book, your website, all of that. It's scrolling at the bottom, but sometimes my listener and viewers, they're listening versus watching. So, feel free to share how they can contact you.
Okay, on my you can email me at DrRobert CannonJr.com. Also, the only way we can truly end the cycle of abuse is to expose these abusers for who they are in narcissistic ways, and to get the victim counseling so they can help become a survivor. Also, have the children get consultation also, because they feel as though that the children aren't impacted. They're impacted because
Mm,
they act like people don't hear, but they actually hear. So consultation, constant work, and working on improving yourself, talking to others that are licensed and qualified, and also reading a book that's located in Amazon. I Own You.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Cannon. And I want you to come back. I'm going to do a special in the month of October, which is the Domestic Violence Month. And I want to put together a segment, and I would love for you to come back and be another guest if you are available. Let's see here. There's some more comments. Precious Scott says she counsels defenders. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's deep. Okay. Okay. And then she's I believe Precious is a psychologist. Yes. And Janine asks, she says, how can we expose them? Ooh, that's a good question.
You can expose victims for who they are by talking to the person who's being abused. You can expose by talking to them and creating a place where they can be comfortable at. And such as putting the information in the break room, such as calling the agencies, the information as it relates to nationwide domestic violence hotline. I don't have that number, but next time we talk, I will. Also calling the Salvation Army, and calling the police and reporting them. You need
Hmm.
to put the the doorbell ringers up. You need to put the stay away orders up. All the metrics are set in place where you can help yourself, protect yourself, and the camera's real time as it relates to your phones, videotaping this person doing the things they're doing. He's outside my door. So these things you can be used later on as evidence, as well as saving text messages. Do not delete them, so you can create a file and show them to your domestic advocate, as well as the DA or district attorney.
Okay. Awesome advice. One quick thing before you go, Dr. Cannon. One of the viewers wanted to know if you can share your email address again. Um,
Yes. Okay. Robert Cannon underscore can underscore do underscore it at mail.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Dr. Cannon. This has been really enlightening. The show is always about informing and helping those and getting them the help. So I appreciate you so much for reaching out, because this is definitely a topic that you just don't hear enough about. Like you said, when the puffy thing happened, everybody was commenting on social media, and then it just went away. And it's like, wait a minute, it's still people going through that. So I appreciate you so much for coming on Let's Talk and sharing it.
It was a pleasure. Anytime you want to talk or communicate about that type of situation, or as it relates to anything dealing with a criminal act or why people do the things they do, I'm more than welcome to talk.
Yes, sir. I got to have you back. Definitely. Definitely. Janine said, thank you so much for this information. Yes, sir. Well, we will be in touch, and I will be reaching out to you for the month of October. Okay.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for coming on Let's Talk. Talk with you soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye. You guys, that was Dr. Cannon. He is amazing. You know, I'm sure that you guys have always, maybe somebody in your life, a coworker, you always wondered. So definitely try to go out and get that book if you can. And if you have someone in your life, maybe you can kind of give it to them or read up on it, but we definitely got to put it into this because it makes no sense whatsoever for this to be happening for women or men or children to be going through this, you know? Okay, so as we close out the show, you guys, I can't stress enough going back to the video earlier. Thank you, Dr. Robert Cannon, for coming on Let's Talk. But I can't stress enough going back to that video. Please go out and research the policies. I think one of the candidates she updated, or I gave it away. One of the candidates updated their policies today, I believe, in a rally. So go out there, look at the policies, and like I said in the video, you'll realize that with the other candidate, it doesn't apply to you whatsoever. And Project 2025, please read that. That is so frightening. Okay, so as we close out the show, I want to leave you with this positive thought. As I always do, it comes from my favorite social media page, Power of Positivity. And it says, quote, be the reason why people believe in pure hearts, good vibes, and kind souls. Again, be the reason why people believe in pure hearts, good vibes, and kind souls. Love on one another, be kind to one another, open a door. As I tell you guys all the time, do one good thing for one person each day, and you can affect 365 lives. If no one's told you they love you, know that I love you. Stay tuned to the Let's Talk with Author Dre Lett Facebook page and social media, Instagram and YouTube. I always put up when we're going to have another live taping. You can be a part of the live virtual audience. And if you're watching this in a pre-recorded phase, shoot me a message. I would love to hear from you. And you guys stay safe out there. And with those words, I'm out.